Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. So I want to talk a little bit more about Aaron Rodgers and his performance. Also, like sort of the reaction that I've seen to the poor play of Aaron Rodgers on offense. Obviously, when Aaron Rodgers comes in and has a terrible game as he did yesterday, there's going to be, lots of critics coming out because rightly so. Aaron Rodgers played very poorly. The Packers offense played very poorly. But there are, I think, a few things that are maybe getting a little out of hand. I've come across at least one article I saw that said Jordan Love should replace Aaron Rodgers. I do think that's a little over the top to think that the guy who just came in and won MVP almost got to the Super Bowl, and you're just going to bench him after 1 week. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I give that a 0% chance. Even though we did see Jordan Love a little bit in that game, I think that's sort of crazy to think about. But obviously, that we all know Aaron Rodgers had a bad game in this one. He went 15 for 28, 133 yards, and 2 interceptions. And there's no question that the Saints came in here with their defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, and had a great plan to stop this Green Bay Packers offense and to stop Aaron Rodgers, which is definitely, a tough thing to do, to stop Aaron Rodgers and this Packers offense that dominated the entire year last season, almost every single game last season. But if we take a look at Aaron Rodgers' press conference, basically what he had to say was that last season, the Saints used a lot of pressure in that game last year, brought a lot of blitzes. This game, they definitely did the opposite. He was saying there wasn't much pressure, extra pressure brought. It was a lot of just like 4-man fronts, lots of light boxes. And, the fact that the Packers weren't able to run the ball against that sort of spelled disaster for this Packers offense, considering, there were tons of guys in the secondary covering up these Packers receivers, and there were tons of tight windows, and the receivers just didn't really get too much separation in this game, and obviously Aaron Rodgers also had a few, pretty bad decisions in his 2 interceptions in that game versus the New Orleans Saints. So the fact that the Packers couldn't run the ball, the fact that, the Packers defense was stuck on the field for a long time, so much time got ran off the clock. From the get-go, in that first half, the Packers just didn't have the momentum on their side. And, coming to the second half, that we had a shot there to make it a close game. Aaron Rodgers comes in, he throws that pick when we were like in the red zone. He just talked about sort of what happened on that play on the Pat McAfee show. And basically he was saying that he got hit in the where, and that sort of caused him to throw a bad ball. He was sort of talking about that a little bit, not trying to make an excuse, but that's probably hard to throw the ball when that happens to you. So, but overall, a bad game from Aaron Rodgers, but I just think it's crazy to think that the entire season is lost just because of one game. Obviously, anything could happen after this game, but I think the fact, when we take a look at last season, what this Packers offense did, being one of the best, if not the best offense in the NFL, and the fact that we are bringing back a majority of the same group, besides maybe the offensive line, I think that it's crazy after 1 week to say that this Packers offense is just going to be dead for the rest of the season. If that happens later on, then so be it. But I just think from what happened last year, the fact that we're still basically have the same team, I think the Packers are going to rebound from this game. I think they came out slow. And one thing too about, the idea that the Packers didn't play in the preseason, I was sort of buying into that a little bit, thinking, okay, well, maybe because they, rested their starters, maybe they just weren't ready to go and they had to get the rust off. But if you take a look last year, they didn't have the preseason at all, and they came in and put up, where did I put it? I think they put up like 37 points, or they put up a ton of points against the Vikings team to start off the season last year. So I don't think necessarily that, being in the preseason or not playing in the preseason was a thing that basically stopped this Packers offense from, playing well in this game. We saw the Seahawks also didn't really play much in the preseason, play their starters, and they came in and beat the Indianapolis Colts. So maybe that's a factor, maybe it's not a factor. I don't necessarily think it is the biggest factor, and Aaron Rodgers said that he didn't really think that was a huge factor there. But obviously the Packers have to clean things up coming into Detroit next week. But I think the Aaron Rodgers slander should maybe, take a step back, take a small step back. Hopefully, if Aaron Rodgers can come back and play as he usually does, I think this Packers offense could get rolling. If things don't happen, then maybe I think there's a bigger reason to worry. But those are sort of my thoughts on sort of how Aaron Rodgers played, sort of on this situation with the Packers and the Saints. Not a great start, but, it's about how you respond. It's about how you respond to adversity. So hopefully this Packers team can group together, get ready, and come back and, bring it next week versus the Detroit Lions. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys want to see more Packers content, more NFL content. I'm probably going to start dropping some other NFL content on this channel as well. I mainly put out Packers content because obviously I'm a Packers fan, Packers updates, Packers news, but I'm also going to start dropping other NFL content just because it's sort of fun to me and I enjoy it, and I think it's fun to make content that I enjoy. So I'm going to keep making all this Packers content and probably start throwing in other content as well. And if you guys have any suggestions for kinds of content, feel free to drop it in the comments below and I'll take a look at that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.